Is it always the same people who are missing? Because if they're always missing, that means they don't want to be on this side.
I mean, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. For advanced, I've never screenshotted anything.
There's 85, you said, and we got 51 people on.
Yeah, but the 85 include you, and this includes you. Actually, the 5 people doesn't include me, you, Steph, Pris, and Arlette. So if any of those people are on, because the people who are admin in the chat, I didn't count.
So we're missing a lot more then.
A few more, yeah, like 3 or 4 more.
Got it. All right, guys. How is everybody doing today? Let me know in the chats. How's everyone doing today? How was everyone's trading week? Awesome. Let me see. We have more people in the thing. All right. Lucia.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
All right. So I want to start off this session with you just saying like a nice quick prayer for everybody.
Oh, you're so cute.
I love your little prayers that you're always doing.
You're such a lioness. I already changed your name in my phone. I put Lioness Kim, by the way, just so you know.
I love it. I love it. Look, people are loving it. So would you be able to
look at Brian? I'm done.
Would you be able to be saying like a nice prayer?
Of course, Kim.
Just to start. And pray that we make a bunch of money tonight too as well.
Can you go wealth transfer, right? Wealth transfer.
Yeah. You can add that in there. That would be great. Ask God to make sure that everybody on here makes good amount of money. So if you can add that somewhere along your prayer, that'd be great.
Amen. No more delays. I don't know who's been experiencing delays after delays. That junk is coming off tonight. Okay, so we're gonna pray.
Awesome. So, okay, I'm ready to hear this prayer. All right, give it to me.
So, Father God, we just present to you all 57 people on this call, God. We present to you their lives. We present to you their contract service, their bank accounts, God, their trading accounts. We declare that everything is aligned to your purpose. We just declare, Father God, in this night, Lord, that you break off every single stagnant, anyone who is stagnant, my God, every emotional turmoil, Father. We just declare their emotions aligned to your perfect will. We speak to the minds of the people, break off the old paradigms, break off the old ways of seeing things, because you cannot bring in the new if they're still holding on to the old ways, my God. So we just declare that you right now show them, my God, what has been, my God, holding them back, my God, even in their subconscious, because I feel people have been struggling with things in their subconscious, not even your conscious, it's in your subconscious. So I even declare it and I speak to your subconscious, my God, that even from previous experiences trading, my God, that they have mind renewed, my Lord Jesus. And I just declare a passion and a fire for their purpose, God. Whatever their why is, remind people of their why, God. Bring into their forefront in the midst of everything that they're going through. We just declare a wealth transfer, my God. We declare that the money of the wicked is transferred onto the hands of the righteous, my God, in this night, Lord, that they will be able to fund these non-for-profits. They will be able to fund their investment properties. They'll be able to fund, my God, their next generation, because the goal is to have enough wealth to last you 2 generations. Every person on this call, I speak that you will be those people the good man that leaves a wealth to the generation after the generation of his coming. Receive this if this is from you, for you. You're going to have that much wealth, my God, that we just speak peace upon everybody tonight. We just declare that every distraction we remove, distractions in the form of people, distractions in the form of places, circumstances, emotions, whatever it is that they're going through emotionally, mentally, spiritually, we break it off of them right now. And we declare, Lord, that everything that is heavy, every oppression that is on top of them breaks off now. I declare this in Jesus' name, and I just declare, Father God, give them new eyes to see the charts. Give us new eyes, levels of comprehension, a supernatural wisdom, my God. And I just declare, Father God, that there is an increase in bank accounts. I declare and I cover this mentorship. These are advanced students. These are students that aim for excellence. These are students that do not settle. These are students that persevere. These are students that will see the breakthroughs. These are students that will see the promises come to pass. These are students that will be able to be teachers. I speak as students will be these teachers. They'll be the teachers to teach other people. And even there are going to be people that are teaching on the Sunday calls, God, that you align everybody, God, so you give them that confidence. And I declare strength for where they are weak, my God. I declare that they will also partner up with the right individuals, because where one lacks, the other one can be that strong. Because to the one who walks alone, but two is better than one, because one alone destroys 1,000, but two destroy 10,000. There is power and unity, and my God, there's even a threefold cord. Nothing can break the power of three, my God, and especially when more people unite. And we have 57 people on these calls, God. We declare rest to their bodies, rest to their souls in the midst of the grind. And I speak this upon us, and we bless our leader. We bless Kim, Lioness, Kim Torres, the Forex chick. We bless you, Kim. We declare rest, because this woman grinds. This woman makes no excuses. And we just bless her life. We bless her heart. We bless her mind. We bless her ears. We bless her eyes. I bless you, Kim. I speak health upon your vital organs, upon your blood, upon your bones. I declare strong bones upon you, Kim. I declare the H2O is flowing through you, Kim. And we just declare joy, God, in this night. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Coño, now
Wow.
that's how you pray, boy.
Wow. We need that fall beginning. You need to pray for us and everybody. Everybody needs it.
That'll be a routine before these calls.
Yeah, because you never know what somebody's going through, or you never know if somebody just needs to hear something, or I know everyone may be from different backgrounds, but at the end of the day, like, we all want the best for everybody that's on these calls, and we're always striving for greatness. And sometimes in the midst of greatness, there's, little bumps along the way. And we just want to be able to help ease those little bumps in the road, just by you knowing that we're here for everybody that's on today's call. We're here for you. We support you. And we just want to make sure that at the end of the day, you come out on the top. We want to make sure that you're able to put food on the table. We want to make sure that there can be food, gracious amount of food. We want to make sure that there's a roof over your head. You're not going to bed with anger, with hatred, with stress, all due to financial stressors and working multiple jobs and living check to check. Like, we want to end, honestly, poverty. Like, we want this mentorship to be the reason why people can walk away from their jobs, where people can take early retirements. We want where people can get out of debt, be able to help their family members who are struggling, or whatever financial situations that you guys are going through. We want this mentorship to be able to be your safe haven, where you feel like you can be yourself and you can feel alive in here, and you can honestly work to your full potential, but work at your full potential at all given time. So this is why we work together as a family, as a unity, because we don't believe in division. We don't believe in separation here, guys. Mentorship has been one of the best things you have ever been a part of. Like, I need to know how you're feeling. I need to know how everybody is feeling at this current moment, because we are going to all come on the top together as one, because we are not going to let anybody that's on this call ever be left behind. I'm excited. Amanda feels blessed. Natalie is super happy. Abby, John, everyone's feeling like really, really good. I want to hear from everybody that's on today's call. I want to know how you're feeling right now.
I love it.
Nice. I love this. Look at this. So much amount of love in here.
There's so much
All right.
power in love. There's a lot of power in love, guys. That's where you get energy from. The power is in the love.
Correct. All right, guys, I want to start off this call also with anybody wants to share a quick testimony on how their performance was last week. I just want to know how everybody's doing. If you don't want to type it, or talk it, you could type it. I just want to know. There's 60 people on today's call. I want to know how everybody did last week overall.
Hi, Kim.
Hi.
Yeah. Okay. So last week I only traded for 2 days last week. That was on Monday and on Tuesday. And last week was my best week ever because I was able to grow my account by 50% in those 2 days, and I felt good because it hasn't happened to me before. I was calling my own trades. I was depending on myself. And I realized that I've come a long way since I joined this mentorship. I mean, you've been here teaching us. Corey has been here helping me, and it felt good to be able to depend on myself. And
5 hours.
I've not had any loss in my trades for the past 3 weeks. I've always been calling my trades, and I've seen a lot of improvements. So I want to say thank you for that.
Awesome. Love that. Love it. Love it. Nice. Everyone's good.
Kim, I'll share a testimony.
Awesome.
So I have been like struggling from before, as you know, in terms of trading and mindset. So yesterday I actually my goal was to make 25, and I actually ended up making 33% in my account. And I'm in like a much better place in terms of trading because I understand it's mindset. So yeah, just really quick, short, sweet, to the point.
Wow. Awesome. Anybody else want to share anything?
Hi, good night, good night. So, Kim, remember when you came, there was this video that with TD Jakes that you spoke about grinding, and I think I should turn off my camera. I'm a cry baby when I'm ready because at times I feel emotional. But when I watch that video, sometimes it kind of helps to put it back into perspective, and sometimes you just need a little bit more fire. It's not that there is something wrong with what you're doing, but a little bit more encouragement always help. And from that Sunday, watching that video, there's something different slowly is happening, not only with the mindset, but with the account and how my analysis is going. I don't necessarily need to sit at the chart for the whole day and watch it. I have hours that I trade. When I get up in the morning, I do my trading in the mornings, and then, I spin around the house, do other things, go to the gym or some. I love Lucy prayer that she preached. Not preach. I love Lucy prayer a while ago because, every now and then my little soul want to work on to Lucy. Yes.
Yep.
And there is the thing what I like mostly about this group is that there are a lot of variation inside there. So it's not just about trading. We have Mr. Hamilton in here, who is a singer. We have prayers. We have different kind of team, and that is what persons want because trading alone is not our life. So, mindset and everything. So, I'm really loving what is happening, what it has done for me, and with everybody else's energy, it helps to propel it a bit more. Yeah. which
Nice.
is what it's doing. I've been doing a lot of knowledge. I've been a bit silent somewhat for a while because I'm doing a lot of bit of knowledge training. Yes, I'm doing my trading too. Yes, so I'm enjoying the moment. It's going on lovely. Yeah.
You're glowing. I love it.
Yes, because a while ago I was crying. I was, when the little heart just gets emotional and all of that, and I get a little teary eye. So, I'm appreciating every single thing that is happening in my life now. I'm at the point where I have a lot of little different decisions to make. And even yesterday where you were talking about, trading alone should not be our one income. I have my different hustles here in Jamaica, but with COVID and time being slow, so I'm going back to reinventing myself and all of that. Yeah, my 9 to 5 and that boss will have robbed me my commission. I have no time for him anymore.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, I have no time for him. So girl got different plans. Yes, yeah, and the thing, one of the good thing, which can be a bad thing, so depending on how it goes, is if I tell you I'm going to do something and I'm determined that I am going to do it, that is exactly what is going to happen. Yes, and right, I have that determination and that fire in me to go ahead for success. It has to be there for myself and my family. Oh, and my kids, since because they're on holiday. So what I do with them in the night, I said this knowledge that I have in my head will not be stuck in my head, because if I drop out, them not gonna have it. I hope everybody understanding me like a twang, them like a Jamaican talking. Yes, they won't. So I'm letting them go in through the academy, and when they go through the academy and then slowly learn, then I take time and integrate it into their lives. I make when them go to school, then do their little 1 and 2 trade, because you slowly, if you take time and drop it on to them. So yeah, we're going, girl, done. Yeah, and getting other persons who I know also onto the same and exposing it to them. So that's my piece.
Look at you. I love it.
Yeah.
This is really good. Just keep on going. That's all I have to say. Just keep on going. You're doing amazing. I see the transformation from the beginning to now. So thank you for that. All right, guys. Let's see. I'm about to share my screen. Just give me a second. Let me type in this ID. All right. Did anybody have any breakthrough moments last week?
Hey, Kim.
Hi.
So last week was a lot of lessons for me in binary. And I guess the lessons occurred because I'm just so obsessed with learning it that I can't keep my eyes off it. So I just keep trading. And I love it. And I know that the lessons are going to be gains this week. So even though the lessons occurred, I'm still going. And I love it. I just got to know when to kind of stop and be like, all right, I'm trading from this time to this time. And then the rest has to be on demo, because I want to perfect my strategy. And yeah, some of them were a little bit of lessons.
All right, but at least you learned from those lessons.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Kim, you're muted.
I think her phone died. I just saw that it said the 4 chicks left.
Yeah, but Arlette got host.
Nah, she's here.
Kim, we can't hear you.
Oye, tú no escuchas.
It's unmuted though. It shows that it's unmuted.
I just said that she left.
No, but it says Arlette Collazo. I see her on Arlette's page, on Arlette's account. If you look at the screen, you can see Kim. That's not Arlette, that's Kim.
I'm blind.
I'll pray for you.
Please, please.
That's a lot of work. Hey, did you guys vote for Garvando?
Guys, vote for Garvando.
Yo, you're gonna need a. I'll be your campaign manager, bro.
He needs a fan page.
Hey,
I'll be
O'Brien,
your manager. I'll be your manager.
O'Brien, who's running the secure the bag Instagram?
We have an
Yeah,
Instagram.
yeah, straight up. Who's running that?
We have
What?
Instagram.
Apparently we do. They followed me, and a few of you guys follow them.
What?
Yeah, that's the only reason why I followed it because you saw.
I thought it was y'all.
What?
What the heck?
I thought it was you, Brian.
No, I don't got time for that.
Wait, guys, for real, what if it's a fake page?
Oh,
You're the back team.
it says
STBFX
I'm
underscore.
unfollowing.
But I don't follow that thing
yeah, you don't, but I figured someone here made that.
because I'm smart.
Nobody in the leadership made that.
That's what it looks like.
And it says the Forex mentorship or something on it.
Really?
Nobody did this?
Oh, member of the Forex mentorship. Like I don't know anything about this group.
Oh my God, I just saw that they were following me. I just saw this.
Yeah, I'm
You
like,
guys,
I just saw they're following.
you guys, I'm
too.
afraid to look. Is Kim behind me? Kim must be behind me. Should I look behind me? Is she behind me?
Justin,
The group
turn on
isn't
your
following me.
Yo,
Is
y'all,
Kim behind me?
y'all are
Should I
so
look?
stupid.
Should I look behind me?
Justin, turn on your camera.
too much.
I did. Is Kim behind me?
So this is what you got to do to get into the
Oh my
advanced
God,
course?
Spotlight. No, Justin, come back. Come back, Justin.
Yo, Jay, what's up, bro?
What's up, Brian?
Bro, I've been on like nonstop Zoom calls, bro. I think I saw your message, but I haven't stopped. I've been on Zoom calls since like 7.
I got in. I figured it out. We'll talk.
This is a pet shop affair. Oh
You
my God.
gotta finish that capture page, bro.
Yeah, I updated it a little bit, and we'll take some of our old
Now I'm the host.
trainings and put up there.
How did I become the host?
That's crazy.
I'm gonna kick everybody out.
Give me the host, Brian. Give me.
I'm gonna start with O'Brien.
Yeah. Give me the host. Give me the host.
What's going on? How come everybody's becoming hosts?
I just moved Robinson to the waiting room.
Hope we're not hacked.
Again.
Arroz con mango. This is turning into arroz con mango.
David, you're out of here, bro. Where are you?
It's hot potato. Who's next?
No,
Good. I'm gonna go to sleep.
Okay, Brian, who are you gonna give host to? Because we gotta play hot potato, not with the host.
Hey, Robinson's back. Where's Brandon? Bye, Brandon.
Put me in the waiting room.
Oh yeah, but the
Guys, you got new people on the call, and this is how you're gonna induct them. Like, chill.
Don't worry, I'm not new.
Y'all too much.
he's a veteran.
I was here when
The
it was
testimonials.
when it was only 10 people on the Zoom.
He's part of the Instagram squad, Brandon.
Jay
what's
Brown.
that Instagram
Jay
name?
Brown, introduce
Oh
yourself.
my God.
Oh,
What
jeez,
up,
God.
Introduce yourself, Jay Brown.
Hey, Steph.
I gotta mute some people.
Dave Brown's back.
Yeah. What up? What
New
up?
persons can probably introduce themselves to the group.
Yes.
No, he's back like he was never gone.
I know, this feels like old times. I like this.
He's the real Jason Brown.
Hey, I was in the bar in Miami with Jason Brown and Matt when they were making $200 a month.
Yo.
Dang.
Should I let Arlette?
750,000 a month.
Oh, man.
You guys think I should let Arlette in?
No.
No.
Brian, Mike said to let him in.
Nah, it's either Arlette or Mike. You gotta pick one.
Bro, you gotta pick me, man.
I see you, bro. You made the right decision.
Yo, Kim is back. I'm
Wait,
gonna be
but we
quiet.
can't hear you, Kim.
I haven't heard my voice.
Oh, Kim's Arlette? I let the right person in then.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh my God. It was her stupid computer. It kept saying Zoom detected an error with the mic. I had to keep rebooting it. All right, guys, let's screen share. Let's get to this money over here.
Currently, I'm host. I'm gonna make you host. Hang on.
Yeah, I made you host because I had to go.
I felt special for a second.
Can everyone see this?
Yeah.
Okay, so right now, there's an XPX trade going. I want this to break 3305, and it's playing games here. Like I bought the break of this, and I was like, all right, it's breaking 3300. Let's have this continuation because this 3300 area. Let me show you guys right now. Was gonna break a really nice high on the 4 hour. Let me show you guys. Give me a second. Let me zoom in. So we wanted this area to be broken, which is why we have my third target at 3305. I saw an area of rejection to the 4. We say, okay, rejection, rejection. We had this break, retest for continuation, and now it's just stagnant here. So I'm going to be watching how this trade plays off in the next hour or two. But that's what was being. We saw the break of this. We're like, all right, this was the pullback. We saw the continuation. It was pushing up. This was the break. Okay, this was the break. I was like, all right, let me see the break. I know we have different numbers on the app, right? The app has different numbers than on TradingView. So I was trying to match them. So when I saw this break, I was like, all right, I'm gonna call the buy. I'm gonna call the buy at this break because I really felt it was gonna hit 3205, break 3205. The idea where I wanted it to go was 3315. But price decides just to been playing right on here, right on this area. So we're gonna see how it plays off. If it's not a continuation, if it is, we will look. If it breaks this 3205, then the chances are very high for it to hit TP2 and 3 on the session. So let's see what it does. But this has just been stagnant. It's just started consolidating. So that's what I see now with the XPX is it's going to consolidate, and I need to see where the momentum is going to shift to. And we're going to look at Bloomberg. Let's see what we got here. Can everyone see this? Can everyone see this? Or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
You see Bloomberg?
Yes.
All right. So let's see what's happening over here. Let me reshare. I want to make sure I click sound. No.
Yo, they're banning TikTok. Breaking news.
They want to bail out cities and states that have done a bad job over a long period of time. Nothing to do with coronavirus or China virus or whatever you want to call it. They want to bail out cities and states. They want bailout money. They want $1 trillion in bailout money. And a lot of people don't want to do that because we don't think it's right. The Democrats have run some very bad states and some very, very bad cities. And a lot of people don't want to give them $1 trillion to reward them for doing a bad job. If you look at some of the states, I won't insult anybody by naming those states, but you know what they are. They want bailout money. They're not interested in the people. They're not interested in unemployment. They're not interested in evictions, which is a big deal, the evictions. They want to evict. A lot of people are going to be evicted, but I'm going to stop it because I'll do it myself if I have to. I have a lot of powers with respect to executive orders, and we're looking at that very seriously right now. But what the Democrats want, they're slow rolling it, and all they're really interested in is bailout money to bail out radical left governors and radical left mayors, like in Portland and places that are so badly run. Chicago, New York City, you see what's going on over there. Bail out cities and states who have been poorly run and spent a fortune doing it. They want $1 trillion, and we're really not interested in that.
Oh my God, let's see what's happening here. We gotta see what's happening for the markets for tonight. Let's see what we got here. Let's see.
Have we heard anything about the second stimulus?
Let me see what we got here. Oh, right here. Let's see. Let me click on it. This is it right here. Let's see what's gonna happen with this money, guys.
Comeback story has emerged. Of the mid-caps of the S&P 400, with the heart to weather the storms and the grit.
What do you see ahead for growth and inflation and unemployment?
Well, and because we were seeing it here and in a number of other states, it's still our view that we'll contract for the year at about 4.5% to 5%. It has been our view after a very sharp decline in the second quarter. We'd have very healthy rebound in the third and the fourth quarter. I think that rebound is more muted in the United States now. And it's caused me to think that the unemployment rate, if we don't do a better job managing the virus, the unemployment rate is likely to be above 9%, between 9 and 10%. So we've moved up our unemployment forecast. And so I think we've got a rebound, but it's much more muted than it was. And if we don't do a better job managing the virus, we're going to have lower growth and we're going to have a higher unemployment rate. And so I've been spending a lot of my time talking more about the virus than anything else because it's so critical to the recovery.
Well, the $600 extra unemployment bonus and eviction moratorium, they're gone now. First, has your staff modeled the impact of that on the economy? And second, should we expect a wave of defaults that might affect credit markets?
We have looked at it. And one of the things that's unusual about this downturn that we've just had is incomes have stayed relatively solid, and a big part of the reason is these unemployment benefits. And so we're normally in a downturn, you see a drop in incomes. We haven't seen that here. It's still my view that in some form we'll get an extension of unemployment benefits. So I'm quite hopeful that that will continue. But if it didn't, you would see a further weakening in the economy. And in particular, because consumers wouldn't have as much money in their pocket to spend.
Any business people telling you that $600 bonus was keeping people from coming back to the labor force?
A lot of business people were telling me that, honestly. They were telling me that it was challenging to hire people. We've looked at a number of studies. We've done our own work. We don't see it as much in the data, but I can tell you I'm hearing it from business people. And so however, whatever the right answer is, I think you still are going to need to see extension of unemployment. It may be restructured to some extent from the $600, but I think it's important that we see an extension of it. And I think the increased incomes, while it may have made it hard for certain individual businesses to hire, it's helped create jobs because it's helped bolster consumer spending. So the net effect still has probably been positive for the economy and for employment.
A number of your colleagues, well, at least a number of epidemiologists joined by your colleague, Neil Kashkari of Minneapolis, say that we need another nationwide lockdown for about 4 weeks to defeat the virus, and that should be job one over reopening the economy. What do you think of that?
I probably have a somewhat different view based on my conversations, again, with epidemiologists locally and through the country, in that the epidemiologists I've spoken with, which has been widespread conversations, believe we could manage this economy and the virus and have the economy open if all of us wore masks. That's first and foremost, and then we need a good testing and contact tracing regime. But in particular, if we all wore masks, they believe it would substantially mute the transmission of the virus, and you would not need to do a widespread lockdown. And in fact, many of them fear if you did more lockdowns, if you still don't have good following of the healthcare protocols, the lockdown to some extent would be wasted. And so I think their advice is, be very careful about the reopening, enforce a widespread practice of wearing masks, social distancing. Now, there might be isolated or localized areas in the United States where the virus is become unmanageable, and they're going to have to take far more extreme steps like lockdowns. But I think we're going to have to learn to live with this virus. We're going to have to learn to re-engage in our daily activities, but still control the virus. But widespread mask wearing is essential to that. And I think it's probably the most important practice that maybe has been done unevenly. And we've lost an opportunity to recover and control the virus and grow faster.
I can actually share my screen and show the x-rays.
We really moved some mountains in our network. And
Guys, I'm going to tell you something. The Federal Reserve, on Monday, they're trying to get another round of relief because they feel it's going to be critical for the economy. How many people here are on unemployment? And don't be embarrassed. There's something wrong with that. I just want to know how many people are relying on that extra $600. How much extra is that helping your household right now? Let me know, guys. I want to be on unemployment. I can't with you.
I was on it, but they stopped it, reduced my hours to part-time, and now we're shut down for 14 days and still nothing. So,
Wow. Well, they're supposed to probably give you money, or you can use those few weeks as a.
no, our employer won't file it anymore. They refuse to close. They just shut down my class, and we have 2 confirmed cases. So.
Oh wow. Okay. Anybody here on it? Anybody receiving that extra $600 per week? Seeing the chats. But many Americans who lost their jobs from this pandemic are relying on these funds. And what you have to understand is that if this is not being addressed, we're going to take a hit. We're going to take a hit for the cells if this does not become addressed. They need to come up with something that is going to either extend that or supplement that. But it says it expired July 31st, that extension. So we need to figure out how you guys as a community can come and figure, go to your lawmaker, your mayors, and that there has to be something. They can't take that away from you guys. Extra benefits. There has to be something, because if you guys are not working right now and you're on unemployment, every state does run differently. You just got to figure out what is your town doing for this. And you need to understand that them taking away that is taking away money that would be poured right back into the economy. But everyone, has their opinion, and with the president and Congress and the Democrats and the Republicans, everybody has their own side, their own version, creates conflict in the market, which is not good. You want to have consistency. You want to be able to identify the moves. You want to understand the moves. You want to understand what's causing the downs, the spikes up, the spikes down. What on the fundamental standpoint is the economy shifting? Why is the economy shifting? What's happening, right? So when you see it going up or down, understand what's causing the shift, right? You got to think outside the box. It's not because it's just only a support and resistance. It's bigger than that. It's something happening with the economy that's causing these major shifts in the market. So we always have to be able to put an eye when we start seeing these shifts and documenting them, so we can use them to our advantage in the future, guys. Right? So keep in mind that this is really important. Everybody should be understanding how to use Bloomberg to their full advantage. Let's see, we got anything else here? Hold on. See, we see anything here? Give me a second, guys. Right, let me see, we see anything here? No, not really, nothing here. Let me check. Let's look at deals. And this is gonna be mixed. Right now we have XPX sitting in the same spot. 3294.6, 3294.8. Okay, so we're going to see if this is going to shift for a continuation, right? 3305 is my first target for the XPX buy. All right, so we got to make sure that we're watching what kind of shifting is happening in different time zones and why. And then also tuning in to what's happening around the world, right? Don't become ignorant, but understand, become aware of what's happening. You don't got to let it consume you, but you don't want to be naive where you're to the point where you don't even know what's happening around the world. That's not good for becoming a day trader. You want to know what's happening. You want to be able to trade at any given place, at any given time, but you have to have the certainty of, okay, if this is going to happen with XPX, what's going to happen with US 30? What's going to happen with the NAS 100? What's going to take these shifts? What are these turning points, right? You want to be able to identify turning points in the market. And you're not going to be able to determine them if you're not tuning in to Bloomberg, right? Or Forex Factory, whatever site you are utilizing, make sure you're understanding the details, right? Like, look at this. Microsoft's long history in China complicates a potential TikTok deal. Brian, you were saying something about TikTok, correct? Or something.
Yeah. That Trump's been talking about it, right? And then out of nowhere now, Microsoft is trying to buy it. to try to save it, I guess. But I'm sure there's a lot more to that. Why he decided he wanted to block it, I'm not really sure. But
Yeah, I'm trying to read it now, see if I see anything.
but he just
It's a
decided.
China-based company.
I think.
No, he says that the Chinese government is using it to spy on us here in the U.S.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm
About
looking at
China,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, I see it right now. Look at that.
Cybersecurity. It's a cybersecurity issue.
Yep. I
Well,
see it right now.
they've been doing it themselves, so they just don't want China to do it. But the U.S. government been doing it themselves. The U.S. government.
I'm the host again. Who am I kicking out next?
I'm done. Oh my God.
Lucy, it's your turn.
Oh my goodness, her computer, guys.
By the way, I want to give a quick shout out to Topaz and Rich Nurse. You ladies did a phenomenal job last night. So
Yes, they did. Who's gonna be on the next call? We gotta decide this. Who's gonna be on this upcoming Sunday?
I got my 2 nominations.
Lucy.
I got my 2 nominations.
Yes, Lucy, you gonna do it?
Armando.
Yeah, we girls gotta do it, man. We girls gotta do it.
Yeah, we know we gotta step it up. I'll definitely
Corey,
help.
who are your
Corey,
nominations?
who's your nominations? Yeah.
I think Derek would be good too.
Yeah,
Derek did it.
should do it. Derek's already a given.
Derek did it.
Oh, come on.
Nah, Derek did it, but I think Nelson, man, I think Nelson need to hop on.
Yes, Nelson.
You got me.
I heard you, Robinson.
I think Nelson, man.
Yeah,
I
Nelson.
think it's time for Nelson to get put on the spot, man.
I think he was saying something about his work. That's why he doesn't really stay up.
Yes,
But it looks like he got some city views over there.
Right.
Living the life.
Yeah.
I'll
No,
be
man.
out
I think
in the morning, and so I told Kim I'm gonna end up taking off pretty soon. So I would have loved to have did it yesterday because I seen that setup on Saturday for that buy. I don't know if everybody saw it. I put the analysis Saturday morning in the on Discord.
I think Nelson can do it, man.
Nelson, do next Sunday.
I just want a normal life.
Yeah, that's what I was just telling him. I said I need to take off so I can do the Sunday. I want to take off on Monday so I can stay up and do it.
Wale on here? I think Nelson and Wale, man. I think they can do
Yes,
it.
man.
The gas station. He's on here right now. Oh, you know what? I don't know why, but he's not in advance for some reason.
No?
Yeah, I don't think he's not in advance. I don't know why, but that was my nomination.
Got it. Yeah, Nelson definitely has to do next week for sure. He has to just figure out his work schedule. We're not going to work around your schedule. You must come and perform.
My bad, bro.
Yo, I do London sessions sometimes, and I still have to go work in the corner on the morning, bro.
Oh my God.
Yeah. We know, Brian. We know.
All right, let's see. I'm looking at US 30, guys. Let's go. So look, obviously we have the buy area for 26,630. All he's doing is just hit the targets, TP1 and 2, as you can see, but I really want to see this shift. I want to see it break 26,730. And I'm going to show you why. If we get that shift when it changes, the 26,730 gives you, let me delete this because this is old. When it breaks 26,730, guys, it's going to come to fill in this gap right over here. Right in here. I know that based on previous patterns that US 30 forms, if it breaks 26,730, guys, you're going to get it to come up to at least 26,860. 26,860. You're going to see this happen at this break. Let me show you guys right now. This is what I would like to see to be broken right here, guys.
Hey, Kim, one of the reasons why it's stalling, if you go to the daily chart and draw from high to low, it's stalling at that 61.8. So if it break, once it break that, we gone.
This. Perfect. Oh my God, look at that. Let's draw some fibs on here. You take it from the low to the high, you said?
I go from the high you got, that red candlestick up there, to the low, two wicks at the bottom. So you got that, yeah, there you go. At the top, down to the bottom, and it's starting at the 61.8. So when I was doing my analysis on Saturday, I saw a candlestick that I liked. It gave me a good direction for the buy.
Yeah, look at this. I see this shifting up, guys, honestly. I really do. If this shifts up, guys, we would get this shift as well for S&P. We definitely will get that shift. It's just been consolidating for several hours now, which is fine. But looking at US 30, I love the move for here for this break. If you guys are not in it, I mean, these are the next areas you could get in it. 26,730 to 26,775, and then 26,800. And last but not least, 26,860 are my three zones that I have. When you see this, guys, this consolidation like this is big. This is big for indices because now right now it's in a holding tank. That's how I view it. This is like a holding tank and it's getting ready for its execution. And based that it broke a 4-hour structure, is now sitting on top of this 4-hour structure. But you need that shift in the market to give it that push that you want, because buyers are not exhausted. Buyers are just right now. It's like buyers are just at a rest stop. They're just taking a break, fueling up, getting that momentum for the continuation. If US 30 continues, then you will see XPX following that trend. All right. So another thing that I use, obviously, let's see if it's not on here. Well, these are a lot of stuff. Hold on. Is my pivots. I really love the highs and lows. And they never do me wrong. Like literally, not only do I use my own targets, but when I look at the shifts at these turning points, right? Because pivot points are nothing but turning points in the markets, right? They're turning points. They're like early on indicators letting you know, okay, look, this breaks here. If it breaks his pivot, you should see that momentum shifting to the upside, which is the bullish trend, right? So when I'm using my pivot points, right, you see them as a scale up. But look at this, boom, we have a pivot here, right? What happened here in the past? It reversed. What happened here in the past? It went up to the upside, right? You have turning points in the market. So what's amazing about these pivot points, guys, is that I utilize them for the future moves. I know if this pivot is broken, it's breaking my 4-hour structure, I can come in and look for that gap to be filled over here, right? There's a gap in here in this zone. So this is where I pay attention. This is my pay attention zone, because I know here I'm like, all right, I'm going to be able to make some money in this move for the breakout, for the continuation on US 30. So when I'm looking at US 30, first off, I'm looking to see the whole entire move. What kind of move are we getting? What's the news is telling us? Is it positive? Is it more negative? Is it a mixed? When you get portions of them, what are we getting right now? Is really going to determine what we're going to be getting in the next few hours. Does anyone have any questions? Let me get the charger up to know. I need the charger on cable. It says it's dying. Does anyone have any questions? Does everyone see the same thing? Do you not see the same thing? Do you disagree to agree? What is everyone's standpoint with this? I'm gonna call you guys out if you guys
Question. Now I'm probably the most amateur advanced student in here, but I was looking at this imbalance on the downside of it and curious if that might kind of attract it into some pull down before it goes back up. Is that just me? Or?
What did you say? The last sentence? I didn't hear that part.
I said, and I was wondering if that could attract it down before it goes back up.
It could. I mean, it retested twice in that zone. So I would like it for a continuation up, but I don't attach my opinion onto one direction. If it breaks my old buy area, then guess what? I'll sell it.
Absolutely.
If not,
yeah, no, that's just my little 2 cents I was adding to it that I was looking at. That's all.
That's fine. Anybody else? Corey, what are you seeing?
Pretty much the same thing. But I think I do see that it could retrace, especially given the fact that we have some indecisive news about the stimulus bill. I think that's going to be the catalyst that actually push it all the way up. But I mean, we also have an area of rejection on the higher time frame, like right around this area, like on the daily, where that gap is that you're talking about. So
I left. Correct.
yeah, I think that it may struggle around in this area like it's doing right now. But I'm looking at that more of a mid to longer term viewpoint. So that's just my take too. Because we just had an impulse move and to push it up that started Friday and steered into this till Monday. And this might be just the buy to sell move that they're trying to get to push it back up later on in the week.
Nice. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'll jump in.
Okay.
I'm looking at my chart and that resistance that you have drawn up is a 4-hour and a daily resistance. So it may need some news to really break that. So if it's gonna break it, it's gonna break it with some news, because it's a strong resistance there.
Anything else or no? Nelson, what do you see?
Oh, what I see. I see buying. Right now, for me, I'm looking at I see the stall again for my fib level. I agree with Corey. Once they agree with the stimulus package, that's going to be probably the synergistic move that we need, the combination of everything going on. And I just see a big buying opportunity, like you said, in that space area. So I'm waiting. I mean, I'm still holding the position that I took from earlier. So I'm probably going into another position once we get that break.
Yeah, me too, man. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for that momentum. Let's see. O'Brien, what are you seeing?
All right, so I'm currently in a buy from last night from 26,400. So I haven't closed out buy yet. However, I'm also bearish on US 30 for the fact that we have equal eyes at each pivot point, and that could possibly be a liquidity grab. The area that you also have in pink, which is your rejections, your resistance zone up top there, it's also an imbalance area if we go over to the left. So I want to see a rejection overall. I agree with the decision of the stimulus package. Currently the data that we're getting is uncertainty. So from my perspective, it's uncertain. So with that uncertainty, I could see where price could retrace before we get the move to the upside that will be catalyzed by the stimulus package. However, money sitting right where price is currently at, and they've already captured all that liquidity there. So it would only make sense for price to retrace.
Where would you see it retracing to?
Let me just see my chart.
That last pivot point.
I see
26.
Those last pivot point.
1 second.
Like 20, 26,
So we
5.
could possibly get a retracement back to. All right, so my first TP is around 26,400, and then my second TP is 26,200, around that area.
If it breaks what?
No, so it's not breaking. I'm looking for the rejection in this area, where price is currently at.
Hold on, show me your screen.
The money's sitting at 26.5, 26.6, and 26.4.
Yep.
So are you guys seeing my screen?
Yep.
All right, great. So, all right, so I was watching US 30 from this area over here. So for me, this was all a liquidity pickup, right? And we're still in that liquidity pickup. You look, there's equal eyes above this area, right? So it means that we have selling pressure already coming in these areas. So, based on the smart money concept, we have money sitting above here. So I said to myself, I wanted to see price come to this area. Also, there's another confirmation. We have an imbalance area over here as well. So why did price sold all the way to come down here, only to have these impulsive move? If you see, these are strong buying pressure. So what smart money concepts speak is that the banks want to put their position at a certain point. What point on the chart do they want to place their orders? where liquidity is built. So this is the reason why every time we see price gets down to here, we see these strong impulsive move up. If you realize, these candles are a lot larger. There's a lot more buying pressure in these candles. This is natural sell off. This is a natural sell off here. So this is buying and selling happening right here. But however, when we come to areas like here, when we see where price is moving away from liquidity, we see where we get these impulsive move back up into this area. So last night, I was saying to the group that I wanted to see a buy, and I confirmed this with Brandon. So we wanted to see a buy at 26,400. So that's where we executed, because I wanted to see the liquidity grab to get the move down. So I would have a position for a sell here, which I'm already in. And this would have been my perfect entry if price gets to this area. But if price breaks above, yeah, so if price breaks above here, I'm looking to take price here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if price pushes through your buy zone,
Which right here you talking?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Okay. I'm saying that if price breaks 26,705 for you,
Yeah.
hold your position to
So
26.
no. So I would hold. Remember, I'm in a position here already for a buy, so I would hold that position. The thing is, for me, there's no guarantee that price will get to this area. So even though I placed a sell here, this is actually the perfect entry that I want. However, if I don't get that entry, I'm still comfortable with my position here. Or if price should move to this area, I'm also comfortable with the drawdown.
Okay.
But this right here, 26,820 area is my perfect entry.
Mm-hmm.
And because it will be filling in the imbalance right here.
Which is, I call that where it has to fill in those gaps. Those are gaps. You call them imbalance, and I use gaps.
Exactly.
Yeah, just different words, different, same meaning though.
Yeah.
Nice, not bad.
All right.
Yeah, I really want to see it. I really want to see that push up, because that's where you can be grabbing a lot of the selling pressure.
Yep.
Because that's the obvious move where to sell it.
Yes.
Right
That's
now?
where every retail trader is selling from.
Exactly. I'm like, no, I can grab it up because I still have my buy from before. So I rather grab it up and then see what it does at that area. Right? Having that patience is so key, especially for US 30. Especially for US 30. So what O'Brien calls an imbalance, to me, these are gap fills. And the reason why is that these areas, when they broke out, there was no retest in these areas. So these are areas that have to come, right? Sometimes you have price that breaks out, just like Robinson has, but there's no retest. It was just a break and a continuation, and price never came. So what happens is that where there's imbalance or there's gaps, right? Price is usually pushed into those zones, and two things happen. It either rejects to come back down or it continues.
Yeah.
You know, but those are the areas where we put our eyes on to watch what happens.
One more thing, Kim. So the same thing that happened here is a similar move that I'm looking for to happen here. If we look, we had equal highs here. We had equal highs here. And based on how we see things, we would say this is a strong area. And if this area is broken, we should expect to see a continuation. But however, what happened? Price literally broke above the area only to sell off. And why did that happen? It's literally because we wanted to capture all the liquidity that's up here before we actually made the overall move that we wanted to make. So the similar pattern that is happening right here could be the similar pattern that is happening right here right now.
Yep. Facts. Facts. Love it. Love it. Love it.
So Kim, I wanted since you guys are talking about like patterns, I wanted to show something that I
Yeah, of
saw.
course. Come.
I heard that O'Brien is talking about as well. I mean Robinson.
Yeah. Oh, Brian Robinson, same thing.
Same thing. Same thing.
He has a few. We have a few names. Show me, share it.
Sometimes I call him Dum Dum.
I can't with you.
All right, so a lot of times I like to go back and look at certain candlesticks and see what happened on the daily. That's how sometimes I maybe catch some nice setups for the next day. And so where I got my arrow at, if you notice, we have a very similar situation that took place here, right here. Same similar candlestick, somewhat pattern here, right? And then we bought. After that was a whole buying for the rest of the week. So I went and started pulling out my fibs and started looking to see, you know, where we're going to potential, like I was explaining with the stalling. I went from high to my low here, and that's how I was able to get an area where I knew that we would get some type of stall. And then I broke down to my lower time frames, and this is a blank chart that I was playing with. It's not the one that I have with your chart. It got too many lines, so it may not be too clear for everyone to see.
Yeah, we can never erase those. Those are the best moves ever. Right? Aren't these pivots amazing?
Yes, ma'am. I love it. One of the best things you should. Not one of the only best things, but it's definitely helped to my confluence trading. So
that's awesome.
I just got like a low flag situation going on right now. So my trend line. So we break that. Now Robinson got me considering reevaluating if we're gonna get the same similar pattern as before. But why does not acting right? Yeah, anyway, so that's what I'm looking for, the breaker here.
So basically, where I have my break. Basically, yours is at the 0%.
Yeah.
Which is great because yeah, your 0% is near my entry.
So this is pretty much what I'm looking at. I can move this out the way. So I got my arrow here and here, but I'll definitely be, and then I got a trend line coming from the bottom, which we touched it right here and here. And like, again, I got to learn that other strategy that he was mentioning. When we hit the trend line, buyers came in, pushed the market, hit again. And, you know, and again, that candlestick pattern that I showed from the daily chart. So I'm looking, if the market repeats itself, I'm looking for more buying, at least back to here. So I'm hoping the stimulus, and then, you know, they got the antibody thing they were talking about, the FDA approval. And so it's going to either be either one of those that's going to probably give us that momentum that we need. So it's a waiting game for me, but I'm already in a buying position from one position I took from yesterday. So I've closed some of the, you know, I've taken breaks, and when, you know, every break into a certain area, I buy, you know, take some change off the table. But
Nice. That's a nice way to put it. All right, let's share my screen. All right, perfect. So if you look in the past, guys, also, these buying areas, these old buying areas that I have, right? All these buy areas, actually, let me make it bigger. I promise you my charts would look beautiful when it's on the smaller time frame. Let me bring this down. So you see this buy area that I had over here. And then we had another old buy area over here, right? Catching it at these turning points in the market. And when I see this rejection over here, to me, this says, this is too obvious of a sell. This is too obvious of a sell. I'd rather see this break and I'd rather take my sell up here, somewhere along where the eye is. I'd rather have my sell in between in this area over here, because this is where price will exhaust before it makes those turning points. But the only way to get that clarity is waiting for price to break the 26,730 area. Once price breaks these 26,730 area, we'll get our moves that we're looking for. But the most important thing when it comes about trading indices is developing patience, waiting for that right move. Even if it's going to limit you multiple times to get in that trade, getting in at the right trade where you can nicely hold it for a few days on indices will eliminate the stress of you having to constantly look to see how many times they broke, retest, But the only way to get these type of moves is seeing them break from a higher structure. So you can get that nice sniper entry, hold it all week, hold it midweek, whichever many amount of days. It's whatever plan you formulated for yourself. But understand that history will repeat itself. And where someone may sell may be my target. And doesn't mean where my target is, doesn't mean I can't sell either. I have to see where does it wick off. Where if it rejects the 26,860 area, that's a triggering what? An old sell. Why is it an old sell? Well, look to your left. Sell area, sell area. Right? I like to go back to see what price does in certain levels, in certain key levels. That way I can make a mental note and I can write it down. Okay, on this day, I was trading with this and this person, and this is what was happening here. So then I decided to reflect that, what was happening, and put it on the charts. So then I can have a story playing out for me. And I know what's happening. I'm not oblivious. I understand why. So I don't attach myself to one particular trade or one particular setup. I trade what I see. And if this is what I see, this is how I will execute. Let me see if anyone has any questions. In a second, let me charge this laptop again. Now it should be fine. Yep, perfect. All right. Hold on. Recharging, yeah, all right, perfect. So we're gonna be watching this area over here, but let's go back to the 1 hour. If I get a break at my old buy area, I'll sell it. I will lose a few pips here to see a break of structure that I feel comfortable in, and it goes to my trading style. It holds to my rules. Then I'll trade these zones, right? I never trade in a zone. I trade outside a zone. I don't like to get mixed up, like caught up within like a yo-yo effect. So if I'm not taking it from the very bottom, I'm not going to take it midway. And that's where price is. Price is sitting midway of the black line. So for me, I'm going to be, all right, I'm going to wait to see what it does in the morning, what it does during London, pre-New York. I have my eyes on it. Even though I have alerts, just in case I'm not paying attention, I'm still aware what's happening. So I'm building awareness. I'm building what it is to have this awareness. I have to learn to pick it up, because what was happening to me 2 years ago was I wasn't picking up like the turning points. I was second guessing myself. I was delaying. And, time is very critical when you're trying to execute, right? Because when I look at the mentorship and I see a lot of people say, well, their biggest, struggle is when to enter a trade, right? Or when to get out of a trade, or when to stay in the trade, or when to hold a trade. Building the awareness when you see these turning points are very critical and crucial to the elements that you are utilizing when it comes to analyzing the markets for execution, right? You need to have an execution plan, right? Every trader that's on here, if you don't have an execution plan on what are the factors that are making you consider, okay, I'm going to buy now versus selling now, or I'm going to sell now versus buy now. What are the elements that you are utilizing to make these decisions, right? So for you to make decisions on certain turning points in the market, you got to build what? Awareness. They go hand in hand, right? So someone like me, I'm going to hold down to my buys, and I'm going to see if it breaks a zone or rejects a major structural zone. If not, I stay in the positions no matter what. I don't pull out, right? I just don't. I'm very confident in my trade ideas. No matter what I hear from somewhere else. And that's something that a lot of people have to develop, that I don't want your original analysis to change because of somebody else. Because what you see, someone else may not see. And you may see something different because you trade different. Doesn't mean that your trading style or your analysis is wrong because someone else has a different idea of what should happen in the market. Right? You don't let that conflict with your own decisions. Because maybe you use a different methodology, right? Maybe you have, different patterns that you look for. Maybe you have different confirmations, right? So don't always go by what someone says. You can listen, you can take mental note, you can take physical notes, but then you have to implement what are discussed on these sessions so you can see what's the reflection of your trading results. Where is it reflecting? Is it reflecting your past? Is it reflecting your current state of mind? Where is your mindset is everything. So when you becoming a trader, guys, professionally, you got to build awareness. You can't have that reaction of like, I think it's going to, no. We don't think here. You go based on facts and what you see, based on what you've been taught. So when I'm looking at these turning points, I got to look at the past and I got to look at the future. So we have right now XPX doing the same exact thing. Let's look at the NAS 100. Same thing. Who here trades gold besides Brian and Jay that I personally know? Who else trades gold?
Donnie.
I used to trade gold, but I don't know. We ain't been saying eye to eye.
She been paying, boy. She been paying. It's like pay month for this motherfucker for gold.
Well, then I'm gonna follow your lead. Let me know next time you jump in, because gold been killing me in the past, man. So I just stick to US 30. It seems like every time I start cheating,
I feel you. See, I feel the same way about US 30. So I know what you mean, But on gold, bro, I caught like hundreds of pips last week on it. Just multiple entries.
I have gold going to 3,000.
Yeah, some people are saying 3, some people are saying 2.
I have gold going to 3,000. Yeah.
Y'all think it's gonna go to 3,000?
Some people are saying I think 2 definitely. 3.
I called 1,800 like months ago, and it came through. And like based on my analysis right now, what I have it going, and also with the news and information, yeah, we do know 2,000 is coming, but right now it's at can I share my screen?
Yeah.
I mean, too though. I called 1800 back in like March or April, I think it was.
I have
Off the daily
article that
structure.
I saw.
Brian,
saw.
we're getting a lot of feedback. Mute yourself.
I was gonna say, I got I put an article in Discord that I saw where Citibank was saying that they predict to go within the next 12 months at that time to get to two grand.
All right, so right now, of course, everybody have their different ways they look at the charts and different patterns and stuff. This pattern right here works perfect with gold. Whatever direction it's coming from, consolidate, it continues going. You can look on like any time frame and you catch it. So if you look right here, I have the consolidation on the 4 hour, the bigger one. It was coming from below, consolidated, went up. Same thing, consolidation right here went up. Right now it's at this point. So even if you're not like a long-term trader on gold, you price trap it. You look right here, you go for the price trap. I set this up. I got my 2-touch. After I had my 2 touches, I let it run. I did this, brought it back. Can come right here. I have my 2-touch. I continue to let it run. I press play. It did the same thing. So it's still within my box right now. It's still within my 4-hour box. So it's just a patient game on say if it's gonna come back or if it's gonna break up. But I'm already in the buy, so I'm kind of good because I trade more long term. But right now, if you're not in the trade and you're looking for like entries, just wait for a break and close above. Pattern wise, it should go up, but of course we know how the market works. Another thing I wanted to say, because I was just listening just a while ago, I have this right here. This is my kind of analysis on US 30. I do have this channel coming down, and then of course I know it's coming from below. It came into the channel. Now I do have the break to go up. I'm trying to understand you guys. Everybody when they're saying they see the eye right here of a good area to sell. With like kind of how I understand the market, like when I look in these areas, like right here, it's strong. Is it like there's nothing resisted. So what direction it's moving, there's nothing resisted. Big candles, big candles. Come right here, you see big candles again. Come right here, you see more big candles in this area. So if it comes right here, to me, I was thinking big candles as well. I'm not seeing like what everybody's seeing halfway, because this is kind of where everybody have that eye to say it comes up to this area and come back down. But I'm just looking at the pattern between this line and here. We see that this was a pivotal turn back after it came down and buyers pushed up. That's the max it went to. So of course this area is a very significant area on the 4-hour time frame. That's why we're at that same area right now. And it wasn't the easy area for it to push because it came all the way back down and it didn't really go back up here. This was when June 16. The next time it came over here was July, 1 month later. So this wasn't an easy area for it to break. Broke through, came up here again. So now it came back down to the same spot right here. I'm not like, if it breaks through here, it's gonna push up. If it, we're just at if you're not in the trade right now, this is just, you have to be patient right now. But for me, I was talking to Brian earlier. I was looking at this area up here, my order block. I was looking up here for the sell. I was looking up here for the sell. We were speaking, I was looking up here for the sell. If I look on my weekly Fibonacci's, of course, you have the 7.86 for it to actually finally come back up here, touch it one last time, and the push off. Or we could look at 50% of this bullish candle. So I was just, this is my 2 cents. Hello, Kim.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that. So are you looking more? Are you? So you if
Sorry,
it breaks up,
thank you. I went to get quick. I saw what you were talking about. I brought my laptop with me. I got a bottle of water.
Yeah. So I was saying right here at this point, it wasn't an easy point to break way back then, right? It did come, you know, it did right here. It did something what I also call, of course, you know, the double top. So it came to the top, gave you the neckline, gave you the top again. And this was the beginning of the leg. So I put up a sell from right here. And when it came right here, it gave you back consolidation, and then it dropped down to it. Now, on the larger time frame, when I looked at the daily, I saw the same. Was it a larger one or was it a smaller one? We were looking at it earlier when I saw another one. I saw another one where it did the same thing, but it did it with the W. But this right here for me, I don't know if anybody trade with that whole the M when it goes up, comes down, give you the neck. Once you get the double top, your first entry would be here, your second entry would be here, and your TP would be at the foot. So right here is really a patience. So because sometimes it goes back or sometimes it comes down. But if you're in the entry from here and you put, and you be patient, because a lot of times when it comes to the neckline, it can push, go down, or sometimes it will most likely consolidate or break, retest, consolidate here, then come down. And it did, this is what I was saying. So it did that for this, right? I was showing you guys just a while ago, it did it for this. For the M, look at this M, right? Up, neckline, back up, came down, consolidates, then it came back down to this area. Right now, it's doing the same thing. It's giving you the W. Up, come back up, come here, come back to the neckline, reverse, give it a little reverse, then it pushed up. Right? So it did the same thing here. I entered the trade from down here, and I saw the retest, and I entered a second entry. So I entered from down here because I saw the double bottom, the same thing that I said I saw the double top. So I entered the trade from down here at the pivotal turn, one right here. So right now for me, I'm still like going up for the buy, but the return of where everybody's saying that they see a sell, to my analysis, I didn't see it, but I'm just looking, because everybody have their own. But as I said, I see big candles in this area, not much resistance. Like on the higher time frames, on the lower time frames, you see the resistance, but on the higher time frames, I didn't see much resistance. All I saw was a lot of, like, anytime it reaches into that area, look, goes any direction it's going, there's not much resistance, big candles, big candles, big candles, big candles. So I felt that when it passed right here, it's going to be a straight shot to at least here or to my order block, because it hasn't touched here since June 8th. And I actually got this trade, and I was showing Garvando. My problem with this trade, I put a stop loss and it kicked me out. And I hated this trade and I hate this area since then. Yeah, I hate this area. I entered the trade. I kid you not, guys. I entered the trade right up here.
Nice.
Oh,
I entered the trade right up here, and it came down. And when it came down, I was good. But I put my stop loss because I was
Nice.
it kicked me out, and after it kicked me out, look what it did.
Yeah, those were. If you look at my old template, like for the template that I give out every week, you'll see like those are my selling areas as well.
Yes,
So great minds think alike. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I had 27,500 as my overall target. The next one was 27,150.
27,500. Yeah, that's nice. That's an overall target. Yeah.
That's really good, guys.
I'm gonna keep an eye on that area that Kim is referring to, because I don't want to lose my profit. If we get some pullback, then I just re-enter. But I know I'm looking for some buying action this week.
Yeah, because look, these were the sell break areas. 27, 128, 138, and then you see the next eye. You see Donahue. This is the next side. This is the next sell break for me over here. Then we have the 26, 850 area. That's my next selling areas. So the arrows indicate that two things are going to happen from this support area. We're going to either be in another buy position, or we're going to start. This is going to trigger our selling point. We had a sell here. So I have my eyes that I put when I want to watch certain zones, so they stand out when I put alerts in. I know, okay, this is a turning point. This is going to be our trigger for our buying or versus selling position. Does anyone here on here have any questions, especially when it comes to indices? Let me know while everyone's on here.
Hey, Kim, I got a quick question.
Sure.
Can I share my screen as well?
Sure. Let me stop mine. Go.
Cool. Sharing right now. Let me know if you guys can see it.
Yep.
Yep. So I kind of had that same thing, saying the same thing as O'Brien a little bit. What I was looking for is this to break. I think we had the same exact. I think yours was 26,730 minus 26,732. I'm looking for that break as well, but like I'm also looking kind of similar to what O'Brien said, something like similar to this, where it breaks just to sell. So I really think it'll come to 26,828, and it's kind of like a fake out break to go all the way up, but it actually comes back in the zone and actually sells back down. My question is, you said we got to have like an execution plan, right? And that's what I've been struggling for, and that's what I'm like been working on over the last couple of weeks for myself. Like, all right, we have our plans, we have our setups, but like, what is our execution for buy, and what are we looking for that buy to do? What is our execution for sell, or what, and where we plan on going for that? So my thing is, all right, this is a pretty strong 1 hour, 4 hour zone right here, right? As you can see, this resistance and these wick failures on the 4. So what type of candle am I looking for to confirm that solid break? Because I can also easily see it doing something similar to this, right? A full solid break right here, and then on a 1 hour, and then coming right back down. And that's kind of what I'm predicting. But I want to have like a solid, execution plan. Like, all right, what kind of break am I looking for? Is it going to be a 15-minute break, or because that can easily be a fake out too, or a solid 1 hour break, and then I'm gonna enter like, that's kind of what my question is.
I do the 15 and 30. I interchange my time frames based on candle behaviors. Like if it's just like a wick and it's just wicking there, then I'm like, nah, I'll just wait until I get to a higher time frame and see a full break for continuation for that momentum. So it depends, because if I'm at the 15, I just see a wicking, and it's not like New York session or London session where it moves the most, right? Well, I'm like, all right, well, like this is the time that it starts consolidating, right? And it's been consolidating a lot extra, more than usual. I mean, it was consolidating since one something. So for me, when I'm looking for these breaks, I'm looking for a solid candle that's it's not failing at that zone. So I need to see a full candle break that structure, close above it, and I just enter just like that, just because it's breaking structures, breaking my zones. I see where it needs to go, and I'll take it to that gap fill where you have your line right there. Like I'll take it to there. That's where it needs to fill that gap if it breaks there.
Hey, Kim.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely agreeing with you guys that it buys. But hey, Derek, can you put your chart back up? I like your chart.
Got it. Let me see where you at.
Definitely agree with the buy. But like thinking like the banks, thinking like can I annotate on here?
Yep.
Where is that option?
Should be like right up here somewhere.
I don't have the option apparently. So like thinking like the banks, like we see that we're consolidating on a smaller time frame, but on a larger time frame, we're still in consolidation, right? If you look from where that 26,752 high is down to the 26 around 300, and then we got those two areas where we wicked out around the 2600 area. So overall, we're on a larger time frame. We're actually still in a consolidation area, right? So inside of this area, that last impulse move that we had to push up, and considering where liquidity is on the chart, we got liquidity around 26, 6, 25, 5, 24, 9, right? And thinking like the banks do, like, yeah, it may push up, but they're gonna snatch those orders before they push the market up. To call that's why I see the retrace. Even if it does break that area, it's gonna snatch those orders, that those stop loss orders that are down there sitting at 26, 17, 26, 5, 26, 9 before it pushes up to that new level, because they know it's money right there. And they know that they can get their larger $10 million orders and $10 million contracts, those $20 million contracts. They need to fill those orders by dropping it at those levels before it push up. Even if it does wick out of this area, I think it does actually push up out of this area, but it drops one more time to grab those stop losses, those sell stops that are right there from people trying to sell it down, but then pushes up.
Either way, we just gotta wait and see what
Yeah,
price does.
it's
Right?
definitely like
Exactly.
I love everybody's different logic and explanation, but you know,
And it's not so
I think we
simple.
all, I think we all seeing the same thing, as
Yep.
just interpreting it different ways.
Thanks, Kim.
You're welcome. You're really transforming. I can see it. I can see it a lot. Keep on pushing, man. I'm gonna send everybody my US 30 chart in case you guys don't have it. It is in the group already, but I'll resend it just for instance you did not keep it. Let me send it. Take a picture. Let me send this. All right. Perfect. I sent it to you guys. So that's pretty much it, guys. Like, I don't overcomplicate trading. Like, for me, like, when I make my decisions and my executions, and you're like, well, you know, not for nothing, like Kim, I mean, you have a high winning ratio. Is there something special? No. Number one, I keep it short and simple. I don't overcomplicate the process. I trust the process, and I trust myself in my executions. Whether I win or lose is not going to change how I feel about myself as a trader. I'm not going to feel not as proficient because of a loss. Losses don't define me at all. Losses build me up, but they don't make me who I am. It's how you handle your wins and how you handle your losses is what defines the person you end up becoming. So enjoy the process, enjoy it, value it versus your end results. Let's look at XPX. It's still sitting where I want it. Like I said, I want her to buy up to 33.15. Let me see it. Let me send you guys this. Does anyone have questions for the XPX one or no? This charger came off of them. Okay, perfect. Does anyone have any questions on the XPX or US 30? Like now is the time to ask me any question you guys want. Like, cause now it's a smaller group. There's not a lot of people on here, and this can really help.
Hi, Kim.
Hi.
Yeah, I've got a question for you, but it's not exactly about the chat. So I don't know when I can state that out.
Got it. Say it again.
I said I have a question for you, but
Okay,
it's
I
not
heard
exactly.
that part.
Okay, I said I don't know when I can state that out.
I didn't hear. I'm not understanding.
He's saying when he can have that conversation with you. Like when can he have that conversation with you? It's not about trading, but he wants to talk to you, I guess, privately.
Oh yeah. I called you back, and you know what it is? When you were calling me back, I was on Zoom calls.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah. I called you back like 5-6 times today. But every time you will call me back, you always call me back where I was on the training.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
So,
But we'll talk tomorrow. I'm gonna call you tomorrow. Definitely.
okay, thank you.
Oh my God, Brandon. Do you guys see this? Do you guys, Brian, do you see what
Yeah, the thing is, because I'm like, yo, I'm gonna put you in the waiting room. I'm gonna put Brandon in the waiting room.
oh Brian, we need to vote against Brian. This man's a tyrant. I can't. I'm so glad. I'm so happy you guys get along. I love it. Oh my God. All right, guys. Let's get to these charts. Let's see. Let's look at the 4-hour structure one more time. Yeah, I feel fine with this trade. Let's look at the NAS. Anybody here trade NAS? Look at this. There's the old buy, my new buy, all target smash. Same thing.
Kim, do you trade it, or you just kind of focus only on the US 30 and SPX?
I trade it when I get good zones. Like when I took the old buy area, because I really like that entry.
That is a nice entry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if it's really good, like I also bought it here. Right, you have your nice little W, double bottom, equal lows. I mean, look, we can all see a buy for different reasons. You can see equal lows. Someone can see the W, right? Someone can just see the rejection, the support. I mean, there's different ways to interpret why you would buy. But at the end of the day, we all see a buy. Now, if it's like half and half, then it's like, oh, what's happening here? Why does half of my people see a buy? The other half are seeing a sell. We need to figure this out, why we're not on the same page. Or why one sees a sell over a buy. And what are their parameters that's giving them that insight of the market. So when it comes to NAS 100, obviously it's a tech company, tech shareholders. And this to me, right? I love consolidation, especially for all indices. That's when you make some good money. So I know that if this area is broken, it's going to hit this area because I have this in the past. So for this structure to break and stay above, it's going to hit this structure. Hold on, guys. I'm looking at something. All right. Let me zoom out for you guys. NAS has been looking actually really clean. All right. But look at this, guys. Why do you think this broke first? Before you had your equal lows, your double bottom, your W's, whatever you want to interpret it. You see here, you had your break and what? Your retest of the structure. that indicates your buying power. Now, it's pretty obvious that it stopped here. But why did it stop here? Well, what do you have here, guys? This gap here had to be filled because this is what? A retest area. And price came back what? To retest. So now, like, okay, my target got smashed. It rejected. I can even get in the sell for the retest and take it back to where? To the original buy. Let me delete this, guys. Give me a second. All right, guys. Perfect. Let me delete this one. I just have too much here, so I just want to delete all this stuff. Perfect. All right. So when you're trading NAS, for those of you that love to trade NAS, make it simple. Don't, like, you see Brian has his smart money concept. You'll have Corey using, structure with volume. And then you'll have Nelson loving his fibs on the daily. Then you have David trading imbalance with smart money. Then you have Brian trading structure, Brandon structure. I mean, you have a bunch of different traders implementing different things, but majority of the time, we all see eye to eye. I see eye to eye with Brian. I'll see eye to eye with Brandon or Corey. Even if I'm not in those trades, does not mean I don't agree with what they're seeing. It's just that I'm not going to trade every trade I see. All right. You also got to use your mind. Like, okay, let me give, a few days off to the charts or to marking up, or, I need just a few hours just to de-wind myself because your eyes are straining from watching the markets and the candles, especially beginners. Like you're gonna like constantly like watch it, right? Because you want to study what the candle behavior that is forming. So if you look at the NAS 100, I'm on the 1 hour. You can see that major rejection zones, right? You see them. They're obvious. So now, what do I have here? Consolidation of box. If NAS breaks to here, I'm going to sell it. If it breaks above here, the red box, I'm going to buy it. Does everyone see why I see these things? This broke structure right here. That's why my old buy. Break, retest, you buy. Does anyone have any questions? I'll mute your mic if you have any questions with the NAS charting. Let me send you a copy of this. But use your pivots, guys. Pivot points are turning points in the market. All right? These pivot points are turning points in the market. Utilize them to help with entries.
Yeah, Kim, I've been using them a lot more. I mean, I don't know for sure if that was a piece of it, but like last week, I had a really good week. So, and I've been implementing that as well. So it's been very helpful.
Perfect. I really like that.
Let me ask you a question. Is the pivot point, when does it come? It comes like after the other candle, or it comes?
No, they're printed out. So I'm using the previous pivot points to tell me for the future.
Okay.
But they're printed out very often. Like they're not like I'm not using when it's printed out after. I'm using when it's printed out before.
Okay.
Because I tend to look at if I can get 3 pivots on one zone, that's a strong indication for reversal.
Strong indication. Okay.
Yeah. Christopher Terry, the CEO, is the one who taught me pivots for indice trading. So anything that he teaches me, I utilize. So these are turning points. So these are like your eye openers. Okay, 2 things are going to happen on your pivot point areas. They're going to reject or they're going to break to continue. That's it.
Okay.
So everyone needs to start getting used to using their pivot points as eye openers in zones. Is this making sense to everybody?
Man, Ken, you done took my trade to a whole nother level, man.
Thank
my
you.
trade was mediocre. Shit. I'm on
Where can
steroids.
I see the training for the pivots?
Who asked that? I couldn't hear them. Who asked that?
It was me, Jay Brown.
Okay, I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, it was the train. Where can I
There's not
see?
real training on that. I started showing it about a month ago to the people in my organization. Because I started utilizing it more when Chris was like, no, add this one, da, da, da. And then I was back testing with him. And he back tests a lot with me, Chris Terry. So like that's another reason why my winning ratio is so high. Because when that man tells me to do something, like when it comes to trading, like I just do it. And we back test like sometimes once to twice a week. Because he's trying to, really help with me to refine my skills with indices. Because remember, he taught me how to trade futures 6 years ago before I was when I joined IML. IML was not even a network marketing company. It was a trading platform to learn how to trade futures. It was only futures. It was almost $500 a month. That was the membership fee to hop on live sessions, right? Just like now. And him teaching a little bit. He never really taught his sauce. I mean, he's not. Futures it takes a lot more time to refine that skill because that's next level trading, right? But the main concepts when it comes to indices is getting the core foundation for Bloomberg or whatever news analyst you're using. Then you need to use your pivot points to see your turning points, to see what price is. And Fibonacci does really well. If you could add those 3 components consistently, everyone should have a very high winning ratio, which is it's going to put what? Money in your pockets. That's why I have a high winning ratio. You see Sunday calls, it tends to be really high. I just learn what I'm taught and that's it. And I just implement it. So, and I'm also big. He always taught me to write my notes on here. So you know why you're buying, why you're selling. This new buy, is this a no buy? If you have a buy zone, now you know, like, oh, I gotta look for my new buys. No, now you have everything printed out. Leave yourself messages on these charts because these charts you get to keep. You get to take them home. You get to practice. You get to look at them. You get to study them. So everything I'm teaching you, I was taught by Chris Terry, which he turned me into a monster when it comes to futures. He wasn't trading on the Forex platform. He wasn't trading Forex pairs. He was trading the E. Russell Mini, for those of you that know. He was trading the NASDAQ and the XPX. He wasn't trading US 30 at the time or regular Forex. So I learned how to use the Ninja Trader platform to trade Forex, but then he stopped. So when he stopped, I had to continue learning, and that's what made me interested in learning how to become an intraday trader. In a nutshell, guys. So implement those 3 components with confidence, certainty, and I think you guys are going to just kill it, honestly, in indices. Hold on, guys. Let's see. Did I send you guys the NAS or no?
Yeah, you did.
All right, perfect.
I've dabbled in futures as well.
Nice.
I did on Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade platform.
Kim, I don't think you sent NAS. I got US30 and I got SPX.
Oh yeah.
Hey Kim, my internet just went down and I missed what you just said.
What was that asking her?
Oh, thanks, O'Brien. No, I heard you talking about Chris Terry, but I missed the 3 things that you were talking about. You were saying to incorporate them with confidence.
Yeah. Fibonacci, my pivots, and fundamentals, which are the news.
Okay, thanks.
Incorporate all those things. Those things need to correlate with one another. I'm sharing NAS here, guys. Perfect. So we're getting hopefully we get these moves up. Let's see, look at US30, guys. All right, we're getting that push up. Does anyone have questions on indices? I mean, that's 98% of what I only trade. Does anyone have questions?
So can I get that Zoom link to that call that you get with Christopher Terry next time?
Oh, for back testing?
Yeah. I noticed you was ignoring that in the chat, so I just wanted to
Oh no, I didn't see. I don't have the chat open.
Oh, please don't look at the chat. Please don't.
I don't have it open, guys. I'm not paying attention to that. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the reason why I back test a lot with him is I was one of his first students that learned futures, but he stopped doing futures, so I had to learn how to do Forex, and I learned it on my own because remember, I wasn't learning Forex pairs with Chris Terry. I was learning the Eat Russell Mini, and then indices, but it was only SPX and the Eat Russell Mini that he would trade every day. And that was only for like 5-6 months, and we made like almost $30,000 with him at the time. And I was just learning from Chris Terry. And I remember, man, some of those students were averaging about 10 to 75,000 a day on a futures platform because the contract sizes and the payouts are a lot different. So, I mean, that's just a whole different beast and entirely in itself. But we back test a lot because he loves that I love indices, and that's all he trades. Christopher Terry only trades SPX and Bitcoin. That's what that man's obsessed with. He sends me his charts every single day, and he probably texts me about 10 to 40 times a day. And he's always sending me his charts. He's telling me this confluent, and he just loves sending me charts. I don't know. He just trades XPS and Bitcoin. I send him my analysis every single morning. This is what I'm looking at, and he tests me a lot and stuff like that. And like whenever I'm wrong, he just lets me know, and I implement that. And then I just come back and show you why I'm looking at these areas, what targets I'm looking at. These are my projections, blah, 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 blah. And it's just trial and error, guys, honestly. If it was up to me, I would just love for you guys to focus only on indices and maybe like gold or oil or something else or like an exotic. But overall, like your bread and butter should come from indices trading only. I mean, that's my specialty, right? So I love it. I mean, it just makes sense to me in so many more ways, like than anything else. I see a lot of its behavior, and it makes a lot of sense to me. And at the end of the day, like we got to make money, right? You want to trade pairs that pay. Like I can't trade NU or EU or AU or like UCAD, USD, CHF, Those pairs don't pay me out.
Hey Kim, has Chris ever talked to you about like using market depth or like order sheets or anything like that
Oh
before?
yeah, yeah.
Like that's like level 2, like seeing like the orders placed. Like,
Oh no,
and
like stuff he shows me is like what banks are using. Like it's things like velocities, and you can see like the
orders being placed.
yeah, you can see how many contracts are being bought for XPX at the opening bell.
The next time he talks about that, can you find out what he's using to do that? Because that's what I'm looking into right now.
Yeah, you're not gonna find it on like TradingView.
Yeah.
You gotta buy
I've
these
been trying.
platforms where he gets them, and they're like
Okay.
thousands.
Yeah, ask him because I want to know because I want to. I used to trade when I trade stocks. That comes with that. You know, you can see the market depth, but you can't see it with Forex and the indices with like TradingView or MT4. So I'm just curious to know what he's using to get
Well,
that.
he's using the same platform I used for so many years, Ninja Trader. It's $1,000 for that platform. You have to buy a license.
Yearly subscription.
Yeah, it's $1,000.
And it shows like market depth, all of that stuff.
Well, no, you have to buy a bunch of other stuff.
The
Like I
data.
can tell you.
You got to buy the data for it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cause I was looking into it and
like there's stuff that like indexes that you kind of get reportings next to these levels. Like you'll get reportings and you'll see like the buying and selling power.
you
Like,
can see it.
it's like next
If you-
level. Like what I
You can
see.
see it on here too, but you just can't see what the size of the orders. They hide that part, but you can see like if there's like you can kind of guess where they are because there's like a that DOM. There's a DOM tool like down at the bottom of your screen in the right hand underneath that 34 alerts.
Yeah.
The second icon down is the market depth, but it doesn't give you
Yeah, it's
actual
not.
contract. Yeah. So he's using Ninja Trader. All right.
Yeah, the only bad side about that is taxes because that's an American broker.
Okay.
So you pay a lot of taxes.
All right. About to look into that.
Let me see what else I see. Like when I show him like different concepts, like what another concept he uses is Elliott wave. That's his favorite thing too. He's always having his Elliott waves on the charts, especially for Bitcoin. He heavily trades Bitcoin, like I think more than anything else right now. There's Bitcoin. Does anyone have any questions for me? So basically XPX is right now almost at 3,300. It's gonna get that push, that momentum. And it's gonna help push all the other pairs to go up. Is everyone good on tonight's session? Like I can only know if you're good if with the feedback. Right? But I'm gonna be going over some more tools next week. I can't find them on TradingView. So I gotta just figure out what platform I can find it in. Because I want to be giving you more tools to utilize.
I just wanted to ask a question because I'm still learning some aspects of the break and retest. So like when I look at this, right, why, you know, as we consolidate it, when I look over to the left, it feels like to me we had a kind of like a break a little bit and retesting that, and now we're getting a push up.
Yeah, it does look. It is a break and retest. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Which is why I see my pie.
Yeah, because it's pushing up now. So, all right, we're gonna see how this play. Let the games begin.
Let's see how it plays out.
I want to learn from the six-figure man.
Oh, he quiet. Where he at? He quiet over there.
Nandip, where are you? You
Quiet, sorry.
Nandip, I don't even think Nandip likes me anymore.
No.
He's rich now.
He's like, oh, I took my one trade. No, I don't need Kim no more.
No. I just been super busy, like I said to you, Kim, last week. Last week was like, I done 30 Zooms, teaching, training, meetings with the team and stuff like that. So I've just been crazy busy.
Yeah, I want to see one of he's a six-figure trader now, Kim. Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's see what he got.
Nandip, they want to see your charts. Come on.
Mom, my charts are similar to yours, Kim. You
I
know
know. But they just want to see. Sometimes they just want to see a little eye. I know. I saw your charts before, and I'm like, oh my god, this is my chart right here.
But yeah, all I see is obviously I'm in from here since last week. I remember, and I told you on the Friday how much I've done as well. So I closed a few positions, but I kept a few still open from this area. Regardless of that, I think, well, I want it to break this area. When it breaks the buy, I just go back in again. But I can see a retest towards the end of the week and it will drop again.
Nice.
That's pretty much it, really. I mean, I've just been teaching a lot of just making sure the team understands about the FX pairs and what we're looking for, really. I mean, last week I went over this FX pair. We've smashed all 3 TPs. I went over. I marked this up for someone as well. That was at entry because I think she was saying to us, oh, she held us buy over the weekend. And I was like, I don't normally like holding things over the weekend, but except for like US 30 and stuff. But same with this one as well. Like, I was obviously waiting on the sell at the moment on this. If anyone did take it, GN from last week, I marked it up with the team. I done the buy. I mean, they gave me like AUD. I didn't like AUD the way it looked. It looked just too messy. I did US Chef. I don't like trading US Chef, but if they come out with, because I always say to them, choose a currency pair and I'll have a look at it. And if it looks overall, if it looks good, I'll tell you to get in on it. And if it doesn't, I ain't going to get in on it. It's up to you guys, as in. But when I was just doing the team training last week, I think, like I said, I just went over all just them few charts and stuff and just made sure they got in on it. But overall, it's been like last week, the whole team's been up. I've just been super busy sorting stuff out. Just making sure the team's winning and obviously everyone's earning money. And then just trying to get everyone ranked up at the same time.
Nice. You have a nice system going on, Nandip.
That's the problem as well. So obviously I've got a lot of stuff going on, sorting stuff out, trying to get, because the team isn't where they need to be yet. I mean, rank-wise and trading-wise, that's why I'm super busy trying to get all of that up and running. So when I have got other P1000s within the organization, within our teams, then less pressure for me to teach, to make sure all the other people are up to scratch in a sense. Because a lot of our, like I would say, a lot of our people, they're comfortable with FX. They need to understand indices.
Correct.
So I can say to, like, say, John, for example, who's on the call today, David, his name's under, I can say to him, I know he can do 100 pips just on FX Because I said to him, you're gonna live off your FX money and you're gonna compound your indices money. I go, your indices money is gonna make you the millions. I go, if you got like a 3-4 grand account on your FX account, do 100 pips a day, do £1 a lot size on that's £100. I go, that's more than enough to live off. But I go, look at the bigger picture, look at your indices account. That's what you're going to make the tens of millions and stuff like that. Like I said to you, Kim, I'm going to have that $500,000 done before Christmas.
Oh, I know.
I'm not too far off. And then when that $500,000 comes, I know for next year I can do 2-3 million. And then obviously when I got 5 million, you need to get me on that other broker.
That's right. We're gonna scale you up real quick.
Yeah, because I want that other broker.
Yep. But yeah, guys, is there any questions? I mean, he trades simple. It's just like how I do. I mean, there's no magic to it. I mean, look, old buy, new buy. I mean, he leaves his stuff there. He knows what he's done in the past, and he just repeats. That's it. I see a bunch of alerts he has on here. Some trend lines, channels he's forming. I mean, pivots. He does have the MACD 4C and the regular standard MACD, which are really good too. What do you use them for? I don't. What are you looking for in particular? Like, I know how.
I just look for the overall, like in the higher time frames on the MACD4C. I just look for obviously, what the red line indicates for the sell and the blue indicates for the buy. I just look for the general movement where it's going, as in, same with the volume. Obviously, if the buyers are leading and if the sellers are leading. That's what I try and look for before I actually get into the trade. And then I just do my fundamental analysis, see if there's any, breaking news come out. And then just go from there, really. What I try and tell everyone on the team, don't rush to get in, let the market come to us. So try not to rush into the market. So as long as the market comes to me, I'm happy. And it's getting easier because I've got a bigger account now. And I can hit my targets a lot easier. Obviously, like I said to you on that Friday, I done 30 grand.
Nice.
But I always try and set up a swing trade, especially with the way everything's been going before the week finishes for the following week, if that makes sense. So I set up, obviously, this trade and I bought again here on the Friday. Held it over the weekend. Not too fussed about the drawdown. My account can hold it. And I'm just going to hold it as far as I can. And then towards the end of the week, I'll close them and then go in. And if it drops again to a nice level, then just go back in again. Just as long as all my confirmation's there, I'll go in. I'll double check the news to see if anything's, that's going to, like, obviously, yourself, if Trump starts talking about recession, or if he starts talking about going back into lockdown, like a full lockdown, then yeah, I'll be very cautious and not maybe look at the overall buy. But yeah, just everything that you've taught us over the years, really. And obviously I'm getting a lot more because I'm in your personal mentorship.
Nice.
I'm just trying to perfect everything, really. I was comfortable before, and now obviously I'm excelling that level.
Keep it up, man. You're doing phenomenal. Thank you, Nanda.
No, thank you.
This guy overall, like, he's very well rounded. Like, I learn a lot from him in just like business building, and obviously he knows what he's doing with indices and stuff. So like, man, he's gonna kill it. Like, you're gonna blow up so crazy. Like, it's crazy.
Like I said, man, you know how I am. I like to keep myself to myself, innit?
Yeah.
I like to keep quiet in the background, sort of thing. But where everyone will know when Kim comes over to the UK, that's the only time anyone in the UK is gonna know I'm under Kim.
That's right. We gotta wait for that one.
Yeah, but it would kind of be like, pardon my language, it would kind of be like a fuck you to my people who doubted me.
With the Lambo. No, what is it? The
Oh, I was looking. That was a McLaren that I sent you last time,
McLaren,
but I'm
yeah.
actually looking at. Uh, da, da, da. What am I looking at now? I was looking at the Wraith or the. I'm looking at the Porsche or the Wraith or the G-Wagon.
Nice. Gold.
I'm
It's because well, the I can get access to. My cousin's got all of them cars anyway, so I'm the sort of person it needs to be come from me, sort of thing. I can't front or anything. But obviously the McLaren I want is this one. 765 LT.
Don't mention the G-Wagon to Candace.
I don't want a normal G-Wagon. I want Brabus. That's like half a mil car.
She might try to marry you.
Don't want a standard G-Wagon though. I want a Brabus. So that's Brabus is another level.
Yeah, Candace, they're calling you out.
I was watching her live today. She was talking about it. I know that's her like a dream car.
No, I got so many in mind. I was looking at the Porsche. I mean, this is like a 400 grand car, but I put the hours and effort in, so there's nothing wrong with. It's investment, as the way I see it.
Nice.
Because again, I'm gonna make it work for me money-wise as well. I'll get tax back on it. Again, like I said, it's an investment because I don't spend my money on anything else. I might as well spend it on something nice that I like. That's why I had that other car, that M5, that one that cost 120. But yeah, like I said, everything's gonna come. Everything's gonna fall into place. I think myself and Lawrence were looking at houses last time. And I was trying to advise him, no, get this house because this house isn't, look at the property overall. I think he was looking at a £3 million house with 10 acres. And I was like, well, you're going to spend 3 million on this, or you'd rather spend 4 million and get 52 acres. And obviously that's a lot of land in the UK, just in general, like 52 acres. That's like, but he goes, you don't want that. But like I said, everything's coming, everything's going to fall into place, and I can't wait because, you know, when we kick off that world tour, Kim, it's going to be insane.
I know. I'm excited.
That's it. We don't rush to greatness.
Nope.
That's it. We'll just let it come to us.
Facts.
Yeah, that's pretty much it from my chart, really. You know, and when it does drop towards the end of the week, I can see around about the 26,500 area, give or take, or maybe the 25,400 area, the 4-hour structure here. But again, if it drops even more, we'll just get back in and the buy. Just keep doing them swing trades from time to time.
Yeah, you're doing good with them. Keep it up. Go work,
bro. It gets easier and easier when you just compound. Everyone just needs to keep patient and think about the overall long run. You know, we're in it for the long run. We're not in it for the short run. We're not a get rich quick. And obviously Kim was in the exact same position everyone else is in now, or you know, who are going to be in. I was in the same position. I worked hard, got you know, compounded my account. And, you know, within the next 4 years, I'm going to be doing that 10 million. And, you know, everyone else who's going to be doing it. It is hard from the start because you want to see them big results. You want to, you know, I try not to flip my account. I just try and keep it simple. Why? Because, you know, I don't want my emotions to get the best of me.
Perfect.
That's why, obviously, like how you say, it's 90% mindset, 10% skill. I got to keep my emotions in check. And if I don't, they'll get the better of me and I'll blow my account like I did ages ago, back when I first started. You know, in the amount of accounts I blew when I first started, if I just listened, carried on. I mean, like the guys in the team, the guys and girls in the team now, you know, they're seeing the results, they're getting where they need to get, and they're seeing the bigger picture. You know what I mean? I mean, look at all the people we're ranking up within our organization, just our organization though. I mean, like, we just had a P1000 done. You know, another P1000 should be done by the end of next month or this month. We got a P6 that should be done this week. I'm just finalizing that with that person. And I mean, like Brian can tell you himself, I'm not even ranked up. I rank other people up before I rank myself up. So again, everything's gonna fall into place. Chairman's gonna come, and chairwoman. You know, we got a lot of ladies in the team that want to become chairwomen. All that's gonna come to them, and then we just go from there. Like I said, everyone already knows my plans. What I'm gonna use my money for. I'm gonna give it back and help other people. Show them other people that there's another way. Don't have to be stuck in your 9-to-5 life, and just basically change that perspective of, especially in the UK, a lot of, you know, the perspective of I am in the UK is it's more network marketing, and that's fine, but 99% of the people who get introduced to Forex through the individuals, they kind of scam them into it. They'll be like, yeah, I'm a trader, but really they're not.
Yep, we get those a lot.
So again, I want to change that perspective of, well, 1 minute, that's what they do, that's fine, let them carry on run with that. But this is what we do, and this is why it's different.
Yeah, but thank you, Nanda.
No, thank you.
All right, everybody, is any questions? Are we good?
Get rid of Sean Lee. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you. Thank you,
My
everybody.
sister is gonna buy an island.
Yeah, I know. I'm watching the chats now. Thank you guys for hopping on tonight's session. Take the charts, take those trade ideas for the buys and sells, the targets, and go make some money. Go make some money, guys. And next week, I'm gonna be like adding a few little tweaks to it that was shown to me, and I'm gonna show it to you guys. And we will continue rocking it out, making money, growing together, laughing together, crying together, but most importantly, being there for one another so we can continue having that strong foundation with everybody. So have a great night or morning or afternoon or evening, depending what part of the world you're currently in. And we will see you tomorrow on Go Cup. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Kim.
Bye, guys. Love you guys. Bye.
Love you.
Love you, Kim.
Love you. Bye.
This meeting has been concluded.